Hello, everyone. Now, I want you to think of somebody successful. Think of somebody like Bill Gates, like Elon Musk, anybody that has a level of success that you want to reach, right? They are up here, right? Now, I want you to think about how their day goes. They are not engaging in any kind of mindless pleasure, obviously. They're not going to be the ones that are sitting there scrolling through social media for hours upon hours and hours, right? That's just obvious. They wake up in the morning, the sunrise, and they're working. The sun goes down, it's already dark, and they're still working, right? It's late into the night, and they're still working. But how do they just work like this? Are they just more disciplined? Well, if I'm being honest, probably. But there's also another factor that you may notice is that they probably truly enjoy their work. They truly enjoy the idea of working. They enjoy the process of getting shit done. Regardless of what it is, they feel fulfilled by it. They will work for hours on hours because they truly, truly want to. They have that drive to keep going. And today in this video, I'm going to teach you some of the simplest things that I've personally done that have allowed me to enjoy my work, enjoy every single process of getting better and working on anything that there is really. This stuff allows me to work for hours on hours, not getting bored or not getting distracted, anything like that. Alright, sorry for the cut, everybody, but I just needed to get a sip of water. Now, I do want to give a forewarning, right? You're not always going to be able to enjoy every single moment of it, right? You want to. That's where mental health comes in. You want to be able to enjoy every single part of whatever you're doing, whatever you're working on. You want to be able to truly, truly enjoy it, right? But there are going to be times where you're not going to truly enjoy it. You're not going to have that motivation, that drive to work. And that's where discipline comes in. Doing everything you need to get through those tough times. Because if it's truly worth working towards, it's going to be difficult, right? Alright. Sorry for the cut, everybody. My throat is killing me right now. I'm not entirely certain why. But I just mentioned like mental health is right, discipline, get through tough times, right? And then stick around till the end of this because I'm gonna talk a bit about a concept that is fairly common, but I feel like people don't put enough emphasis on. People don't really talk about often enough, and I feel like that's one of the things that will help you a lot. It's one of the biggest things that I've done that helped me, right? But starting off, one of the most important things is to make sure your work is fulfilling, right? If it's fulfilling, you'll be able to enjoy the process. You'll be able to enjoy reaching your goals, right? Feel like your work can be done by somebody else, it's not the right job for you. You need to find something that you can do, that you will specialize for, right? And I'll make another video going further in depth on like how to find your passion and everything like that, how to find something that you truly, truly want to do, that you want to make your life out of, right? But for now, just know that you need to keep things fulfilling, right? And you keep things personalized to you. But how do I make things fulfilling? That's very simple, right? You just need to enjoy the process. If you enjoy the process, it will be fulfilling because you will be able to see yourself improving, you'll be able to see yourself making progress and getting closer and closer to your goals. And now I'll walk you through some of the things that I use to make my work fulfilling, right? It's four things. One of them I already kind of mentioned about keeping it personalized to you, finding your passion and that kind of thing. So there's just three really big ones, right? You want to have a clear goal to work towards. You want it to be future oriented, obviously. And you want to be able to easily track your progress. That's one of the biggest ones, is easily tracking your progress, right? Sorry about all the cuts, everybody. My god. My throat, I'm just coughing like crazy right now. I think it's from when I was choking on a bit of my drink earlier. But regardless, the 30 things, right? You want to have a clear goal to work towards, you want it to be future oriented, and you want to be able to track your progress, right? First two are easy, pretty simple, right? You want to have a clear future oriented goal to work towards. It's as simple as it sounds, right? And I'm gonna make another video going like very in depth into goal setting, right? And how to make a web of success, more or less, where no matter where you go, you will stumble into success whether you wanted to or not. Now, I'm gonna go through, but for now, I'm just gonna take you through the simplest process, right? Go grab a piece of paper and a pencil, just something to write on, something to write with. You could grab a marker and write it on your walls, right? Like you could just like right above your bed, just fucking, you know, just write it onto your wall. I don't care where you write it, just have something where you can save this for later, right? Because this is gonna be something that will help you. All right, you got it. All right, cool. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm going to be assuming that you already know what you want to work on, right? And start off, you just want to find out something specific that you can improve on. Now, if this is making YouTube videos, right? Set a goal of setting a certain amount of videos, right? So, like in very big letters on your piece of paper, write make 10 videos or something like that, right? Or whatever goal you want it to be. If this is like learning guitar, learn X and Y song, right? Like learn song by some and that kind of thing, you know? You just want to have a big goal for you to work towards, right? Something that is out of reach today, but maybe in like a month you could get there. Maybe in a year you could get there. Regardless, the bigger the goal you set here, the better, right? And then underneath that goal, you want to set a certain steps that you can take to get there, right? You want to set a certain amount of steps, no matter how amount of steps that could be. The more that you could break it down, the better, right? So, say if you want to learn a song on guitar, right? You want to go find the chords, you want to learn the strumming patterns, you want to just practice it, right? You want to figure out how to swap between chords on the fretboard, and then eventually just practice it in the actual song, right? Learning how to strum it for the pre-chorus, the chorus, the verses, the intro and outro, and that kind of thing, right? For say it's for making YouTube videos, right? Very similar to what I'm doing. Then under that goal, maybe write like brainstorm video ideas, right? Get it, and you get some of those, right? And then for each of those ideas, you set up a script or maybe some bullet points to follow. You flesh out the idea more and more, and then once you have it fully fleshed out, you go ahead and you record the video, right? And then after that, it's just editing the footage, and then you can finally go and post it. That's your simple step-by-step criteria, right? Simple guide to making the YouTube videos, right? You just keep repeating that, and you will eventually get through to your goal, right? And at this point, on your piece of paper, you should have a clear future-oriented goal, right? You should have something like a big one written down, and then some steps that you can take to get there, right? Now, the next thing is you want to make sure that you can track your progress, right? Because you will easily lose sight of how much progress you made. I'm telling you that you will, because you will be improving a lot, right? But you will find times where you plateau. You will find times where you just don't feel like you're improving, and this is where getting the ability to track your progress will be, right? Simplest way to do this, say it's for making like YouTube videos, right? You can use whatever metric you want to, but for YouTube videos, write down today's date and how many videos you've posted, even if that's 0, right? And then you do that every week, do that every month, do that every year, right? And you will be able to look back and see how much progress you've made. If it's for learning an instrument or hitting a certain weight at the gym, right? Then record yourself going for your current PR on like bench press or squat or some shit like that, right? For guitar, record yourself playing the chords and shit like that. I don't care if it sounds awful. You're the only one that's gonna be looking at it, man. You know? And maybe down the line, right? You'll be able to look down that and be like, man, I cannot believe I used to be this bad. But then look at me now. And you can compare that video to the video that you will have in due time of you being able to play that song fucking perfectly. And that is going to be a fantastic feeling, right? So whenever you get down to those plateaus, make sure that you can track your progress, right? Because you will be able to look back and it'll give you the motivation and it'll give you that kind of drive to keep going, right? 1000%. Now you figured out how to make things fulfilling. Now I'm going to talk about something that I've not really heard many people talk about as much as I feel like they really should, right? And that's making things the right level of challenge. Now think about it. If you're just starting off, you're not going to be able to expect to just go into the gym and deadlift 500 pounds, right? You're not going to be a master guitarist right off the bat, right? Things take time. And just like how we set our big goal and then steps to get there, right? You want to pick the right step to work towards, right? You want to find the right amount of challenge. You want to find this Goldilocks zone of challenge, right? To where it is just enough to where you can kind of wrap your head around it, just enough to where it's fully stimulating your brain and you need to fully focus onto it, but not so much to where you gets distracted, right? You don't want it to be too little, because if it's not stimulating enough, you're going to get distracted. But if it is too stimulating or too difficult, you're not going to make any progress, right? If you just sit there and you have your goal of, oh, I want to get 10K subs on it on YouTube, right? That's a great goal to have. But if you sit down and you're only thinking about, oh, I want to get 10K subs on YouTube, you're not going to get any progress, because you're sitting here working, looking at a goal that it's going to take you years, maybe months if you're lucky or anything like that, right? But realistically, it's going to take you a while of continuous, dedicated efforts, and you're trying to figure out, oh, what can I do to achieve this in a day, you know? Well, you're not going to. That's why you're not going to make any progress. But if you instead pick those steps that you had right there and you work towards one of those, that'll allow you to get into the flow state, right? And this flow state is exactly where you want to be. You want to be able to lock in and become fully focused on whatever you're working on, whether, regardless of what that is, right? Because if you are able to harness this flow state and be consistent with it, you will reach a ridiculous level of productivity. You will sit down and you will work for hours and you won't even notice the fact that time is passing. You will look at the clock and you'll look at your phone or something like that. So because you obviously want to tuck your phone away, put it somewhere where you're not going to be distracted by it, right? You'll go back to your phone and you'll have missed calls, you'll have all kinds of missed texts and shit like that. Or even if you don't, you'll look at it and be like, holy shit, when did 3 hours pass? Who knows, man? Because you were fully focused on work. And that's when you're going to make a crazy amount of work, of progress, right? And because of that crazy amount of progress, that will feel fantastic to look back at. The kind of feeling you can get when you can actively see with each session that you made progress is a fantastic thing, right? That's why I went so far in depth onto tracking your progress, right? Now, that's just one of the most important things that I don't feel like people talk about often enough, right? Is finding that flow state. If you want to get a book that goes really far into depth on this, right? Get the book called Deep Work by Cal Newport. You've probably already heard of it, but I feel like people have been kind of forgetting about it almost. I haven't really seen many people talk about it as much as I feel like they likely should. But regardless, remember those 4 things when it comes to setting a goal, right? Set your big goal, set the steps, and track your progress, make sure it's future oriented, etc., etc., right? And then one of the biggest things is practice getting into this flow state. Practice having 0 distractions, being fully focused on what you're doing, so much that you don't even have another thought in your mind, right? You are completely zoned in. And that's when you're going to make the most progress, right? And it will feel fantastic when you realize and you can look back and think, wait, I was just in the flow state there. I didn't even notice that 3 hours passed and I just got so much work done. It is a fantastic thing, all right? Do these things and you'll be able to enjoy your work so much more, right? You'll be able to look back and you'll get more done in less time and you'll improve at an unparalleled rate, right? Now, I'll see you guys later. And remember, we're trying to become somebody worthy of being looked up to, okay? All right, see ya.